Another person go, well, Erica is not telling Candace to stop. Does she have to?
Candace Owens is larger than life. And of course, she's making a lot of money right now as a YouTube content creator. And she's making this money largely because of the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, she was a former friend of Charlie Kirk. And of course, this so-called investigation that she has been doing is leaving people on suspense every day.
All right, you guys. Well, if Halloween is your thing, then I definitively have a scary story for you. And it's scary because it's not fiction. Okay, this is real life. The assassination of my friend Charlie Kirk. We are now, I believe, extremely close to solving this thing. I think after this episode, you are going to recognize that there is just irrefutable proof that there were, in fact, foreign actors involved. And of course, that implies that our government knows. Our government absolutely knows. We already felt that way.
Now, of course, many people have called out Candace Owens because, she's grifting. She doesn't have any real evidence. It doesn't prove to anything. And of course, she wasn't even cool with Charlie Kirk once he passed away, right? And obviously, we know that her stance is against Israel. Meanwhile, Brandon Tatum, her ex-friend, is taking a different path by aligning with Israel. And we all know that Candace Owens is against Israel, okay? And so now you hear Brandon Tatum saying things like this.
Y'all keep praying for me. I said, I want them to turn that place into a parking lot. I gotta preface it, because somebody gonna clip this and put it on the internet. Not because of the Palestinian people per se, individual people, but because if you dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God, you decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again.
There is Brandon Tatum just letting you know what side of the Palestine conflict he's in. And he's also been coming after anybody who is against Israel.
I see somebody with a sign that said Tucker is not MAGA. I guess I got to put his name out there. That's not MAGA. When you're on your platform and people are acting as if Sharia law is better than what we have here in America and the laws that are given to us by God through faith, you're a silly person.
Now, in this case, he's coming after both Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Now, before, him and Candace Owens used to be real close friends. And it's interesting because both of them have anti-black content and neither one of them is married to a black person.
Got him!
But that didn't matter because, hey, like I said, they were trying to quote unquote clean up the black community. They want to see black people do better. X, Y, and Z, you get the whole entire point. And that was the whole gist of this situation going on with Candace Owens and also Brandon Tatum. But again, I already understood that as much as Brandon Tatum has been, simping for Israel and really coming after everybody else, it was only a matter of time before Brandon Tatum was going to have to start coming after Candace Owens. Brandon Tatum, for the most part, is direct in his conflict of other people. For the most part, he is direct, okay? At the same time, he's not, right? But because coming directly after Candace Owens would also hurt him in the conservative community. Now, you already must understand the fact that he's taken this position, for Israel has lost him a lot of cool points. But now Brandon Tatum is starting to put more energy into Candace Owens.
Another person go, well, Erica is not telling Candace to stop. Does she have to? Does she have to go out her way to say something to people online? Does she have to? Just use your common sense. When somebody says that everybody betrayed Charlie, that's including Erica Kirk. When somebody say everybody turned on Charlie, that means Turning Point USA is implicit. Everybody there, everybody. Do you think that in your mind, you think Erica say, yeah, that's right, I did betray him. Put that out on the internet, I betrayed him. And everybody that was speaking at his funeral, everybody that was at his actual funeral, everybody, the man who did the eulogy for Charlie Kirk, they all in on it.
Now, he mentions Candace Owens at first. And, again, he's trying to keep it clean. But Brandon Tatum is not as smart as he wants to appear, right? Because what he says next is troubling.
People that's not even associated in Charlie Kirk's inner circle is somehow the ones that are freedom fighters. Then put your thinking cap on. And I want you to unfollow me if you that silly. Y'all are being played. You guys are being played that are believing this stuff. Do you not see it? Do you not see that you're a useful idiot in this situation? They just making money off you. They don't even believe the stuff they saying. Some of them are just saying it because they get clicks and money. And you think it's a deep dive in it. These people really care. They don't really care. How many people really got a text message they could show you from Charlie Kirk from a week ago, 2 weeks ago? I mean, from before his death, 2 weeks before his death. A week before his death. They ain't got the they don't have the text message. They can show you communication or a picture or something from years ago. Didn't even go, were they at his funeral?
Remember, this is supposed to be his girl, right? He was doing everything he could to never talk about Candace Owens, but he's accusing Candace Owens of just doing whatever she's doing for money. She's not real. She don't have no text messages that she can recently show from Charlie. She don't have any of those things. And basically, this is what he's directly accusing her of, because she was talking about, all the texts she got from, back in the day at 2018, 2019. She wasn't at the funeral, which she wasn't. So he's speaking directly to her. And one of the things that a lot of the black conservatives used to complain about in the black community was that black people could not handle disagreements, that black people, and Candace said it herself, did not know how to handle conflict. And so now you have two black conservatives who basically are on the same edge of history with Turning Point USA and blacks. Both of y'all are married to non-black people. And then we have Brandon Tatum being passive aggressive simply because Candace Owens is against Israel and you're for Israel. So you don't even disagree on that, black people should pull themselves up from their bootstraps. You're beefing with Candace Owens over a non-black issue. And this is how you know when somebody is bought or paid for, okay? I've had some beefs in my YouTube career within the black manosphere community. I've had beefs with other YouTubers. I've had personal problems with people, in just my natural, life, right? But one of the reasons that if I've ever had a problem with somebody, we would have never got into it over something like Israel. I've never lost any black friend outside of a black community-based issue. I would never allow me as an individual to get into it with another person in the black community over a non-black situation. And this is exactly what Brandon Tatum is doing. A person who said that he was a black conservative. He loved black people. He wanted to help the black community. He went from there to complaining about racism within the conservative movement toward himself. He had chagrin towards Charlie Kirk because he wasn't involved in Turning Point USA events. And then also, what is he doing now? He's coming after Candace Owens, but he can't be man enough to go ahead and call her out directly. He's doing it in a passive aggressive way. So now you have a guy who can deal with everybody head on. He can deal with Tucker Carlson head on. He can deal with Nick Fuentes head on. And I told you guys he was gonna start to do this. And now he is dealing with Candace Owens with little sneak diss. And he's doing it because the people that are allegedly paying him are different than the people that are allegedly paying her. And see, this is why you can't really listen to this whole, you gotta vote Republican because you got to get off the Democratic plantation. Let me tell you why you should vote Republican or Democrat. You should vote it because of your real values, okay? I have different values from Democrats. Some we may align with, but I vote Republican because of my own convictions. I do not vote Republican because I think that the Republican Party is the answer for black people. I would much rather have a one party for blacks, be it Democrats and Republicans, okay? And we can fight out our own issues there. But no, because you're gonna get misled into a whole different camp, joining Black MAGA. You will never get nothing from Black MAGA, okay? And Brandon and Candace Owens can't even agree on MAGA, and they both controlled by external forces, in my honest opinion, that influence them as to what they should be doing. And now both of them are going to be, I think they're going to fall out into a serious beef, because at this point you have to. Brandon Tatum is going to keep the heat on anybody who is disrespectful towards Israel. And Candace Owens is pretty much saying that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. All right, that's all. She's pretty much saying that they had something to do with it. Now, this guy, Tyler Robinson, we haven't heard anything about him. in the last, I don't know, since it happened with Charlie Kirk. I have not heard anything about this guy. Everything has been these whole conspiracy theory stories and all of this. But what I can say for sure is that it's a crying shame that Brandon Tatum is so controlled, or behaving as if he's so controlled, that he's taking shots at somebody who's supposed to be his friend. And it just goes to show you that none of them are friends. Charlie Kirk really wasn't Officer Tatum's friend. He wasn't. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Brandon Tatum had some level of a chagrin towards him. Brandon Tatum don't like Charlie Kirk. Right now, Brandon Tatum is selling Charlie Kirk t-shirts on his website and saying that he's going to give the proceeds over to his family when they already got $5 million or $6 million in proceeds. And Turning Point USA already sell Charlie Kirk shirts. Brandon Tatum is using a dead man to make money. Candace Owens is using a dead man to make money. Okay? And now you have both of those people who are using Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk used them also. And now, because this whole situation is about Israel, and Israel, has loyalty to Brandon Tatum, he's rocking with them over anybody. And again, it just don't make sense. And these are the people that tell you that, you need to come and support the movement over the RNC. And now we find out Candace Owens don't even like Trump no more. You know what I mean? She thinks he's a Zionist, and now she's against Trump, and Trump is the one that killed the government and all this other kind of crazy stuff. It don't make sense. This is what happens when you're not on the agenda of black people, you on everybody else's agenda. This is why you can't really trust the majority, I'm not saying all, of black Republicans. Hardcore black Republicans that are like MAGA Republicans, again, you can't trust them. These are black people who want to necessarily be white, and they're forced to be black Republicans because they happen to be black. But they're not necessarily black Republicans. They just happen to be black. They don't really care about black issues. Some of them are not even married to black people. They don't care anything about that. And this is what is so sad. And this is what is so crazy about all of this. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.